One. We are through.
Hello everyone, it's me, Interactor Aakriti Parasain from the Interact Club of Chelsea International Academy. I am the chief club editor of this club, and we have
Interactor Sakshyam Shrestha, and I am the executive IT officer of Interact Club of Chelsea International Academy.
Okay, Sakshyam, are you nervous?
Yes, I am quite nervous as it is my first video recording, in fact. And what about you?
Okay, quite relatable. मेरो पनि अहिले त्यस्तै हो. I am really nervous. Okay.
We are quite relatable.
Okay, so this is Interactor Sarthak Lekak, the president of Interact Club of Chelsea International Academy in the background, and I will be asking both Aakriti and Saksham the questions for today's podcast. So this is our first ever podcast. This is episode 1. So let's start. Firstly, I'd like to ask both of you, why did you guys join Interact?
Aakriti.
Okay, I'll go first. Basically, I had nothing to do, and I really wanted to, be involved in some kind of community service activities and bunk classes, of course. That's why.
I joined Interact because I was bored. I just joined college and I had nothing to do. And so there was this guy calling everyone, Interact join garana, kasto maja aउँछ. And I just believed this guy and I'm here today.
Okay, thank you. Now, could you please tell the audience why we're here today?
Okay, so we're basically here today to discuss about mental health in teenagers. Mental health and topics related to it.
A very fun topic, in fact.
Okay, so I think the audience needs to know, first of all, the audience might know this, that Rotary International has its main kind of focus this year, and that is towards mental health, right? And what is the theme for this year then of Rotary?
Theme for this year.
Creating
hope
In this world.
Right.
Yes, creating hope in this world.
Okay, so now as I'm the president, we have a club theme as well, right? So we have a club theme as well. What is the theme of the club?
Stand for unity.
Standing for unity, right? And why did I decide that we would keep the theme as standing for unity?
Because we need to be united in every,
Okay, and
to help others.
Okay, मैले इन्स्टलेसनमा पनि एउटा फर्मुला भनेको थिएँ तिमीहरूले फर्मुला याद छ किन?
Formula.
Unity plus something gives something.
Unity plus
Hope.
gives.
Unity plus hope gives achievement. Wait, it was something.
Impact.
Yes, that's great.
I agree, this is a lot better.
Okay, so let's start today's discussion. Firstly, I would want you both to kind of give me your opinions on the kind of mental disorders that you think right now is the most important to discuss upon. Like, what do you think? What are the mental disorders that right now is should be prioritized more on?
Depression.
ADHD, OCD, anxiety.
Panic attacks.
Yes. Mostly among teenagers. That's the
Okay.
definition.
And do you guys also face like anxiety? Do you think that you feel that some days? I don't know.
Sakshyam?
Aakriti.
Okay, I'll go first. Anxiety is simply the feeling of nervousness, and I think I am quite anxious sometimes. Like, for example, when I am in front of a crowd or something, then that makes me really nervous. That is the kind of anxiety that I have. What about you?
It's not my opinion on myself, but I have heard it from many people that I suffer from depression and OCD, which is quite shocking actually, because I don't feel low in my mood or anything. I'm hyped AF and I'm always active and stuff, but when I also check my depression for the information Aakriti.
How did you check your depression?
Questionnaires, I'm a psychology student and I did this questionnaire once and my score was quite high, the only score that was high in exams. So,
But if you're depressed, you have a very easy solution to overcome that, you know?
suicide.
No.
No.
Go look at your notes.
Notes.
Yes, notes.
It's
You just
quite funny. Okay, dad jokes. You should be a mom.
Okay, so then how do you think that Interact will help you overcome your current anxiety or depression? How do you think Interact will help?
okay. Go on.
So, as the viewers may know, we interact in Interact. So, like right now, as I'm in this position in front of the camera, I am currently fighting my nervousness and all that stuff just to speak in this microphone. And yeah, and there are many programs that Interact is planning to hold, which requires a lot of social skills and community skills, but along develops the person's social skills also. So I'm expecting Interact to develop my social and communicating skills and get me out of depression.
Okay, so for me, Interact is simply a community service club which is all about making a difference in the community. And what Interact teaches us is confidence, leadership skills, and communication skills basically. So Interact is helping me overcome my nervousness, and I think it will continue to help me.
Okay, and about this podcast, right? So we've just started doing this podcast. The title is Beyond Interact. So how do you think the podcast can help groups of people who are going or facing these kind of mental disorders? How do you think the podcast will create? What do you think the podcast will create in order to kind of get people's attention towards these kind of mental disorders and what we're trying to say to them?
As our theme of today's episode is mental disorders for teenagers, we are obviously gonna discuss the problems and some solutions for some of the mental disorders they might be suffering, and the viewers that are watching may suffer from similar kind of symptoms that we discussed today, and I'm sure many of the viewers are nervous and they don't have the confidence to speak to people openly, and if while watching our podcast channels they might get some confidence in themselves like we are getting right now. I'm quite confident right now, and they might, I'm pretty sure that they will be more confident once they watch our podcast and stuff. They might even join Interact.
Okay, so I am a teenager, you are a teenager, and this podcast is about mental health of teenagers, and basically this podcast is focused on teenage population. And I think our problems are quite relatable, so I think this podcast would be a great help to the viewers.
Okay.
Relatable. Put that in the caption. Right?
Sorry?
Hashtag relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now as you're running out of time, right? So I just want you to summarize for me, like what should the audience take away from this particular episode? Like what do you think that why are we doing this episode?
Okay. We are doing this episode simply for awareness. Okay.
Okay, so you said awareness, right? So do you think that this is the first, like, do you think that first episode, mainly, like, everyone will be convinced that, okay, they've done an episode about awareness, so now we are also convinced that we won't, have that anxiety or depression. So do you think it's a one-stage thing or it takes time?
Of course not.
It takes time.
It takes time.
Right. So do you guys think that this is just a learning experience for you guys as well? Your podcast or something, whatever we're doing, it's just a learning experience for you. And slowly you will be able to be more comfortable around, being around the camera and being around or treating your mental disorder in some such a way that you'll feel more comfortable around that as well, right?
Yeah. I was quite nervous when I saw that camera the first time yesterday, but yeah, I'm not scared of that camera anymore, and I think it is helping me. And I don't think that the viewers who are watching this podcast will have like enough confidence for only from one episode. But once we start making publishing 10 to 20 episodes, they will have confidence. Yeah, I assure you that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so question की थी?
Do we have any questions? Do you have anything to say to our audience? Or any way you want to convince our audience to be a part of this podcast? This is the first ever episode, so.
Oh, okay. So, like, since this video is mostly focused to teenagers, what I want to say is like, एउटा teenager को mind मा there are like emotions हैन. Emotions are like roller coaster. यता उता गइरहेको छ अनि like I think यो podcastहरूले चाहिँ it may help them to gain some confidence. That's it.
Just remember that your parents are not always right or wrong. You have your own rights, and by that rights I don't mean that just leave your house or something. Your parents love you.
Okay, and quick 10 seconds, do you have any kind of final comments that you want to say to our audience? Or to
I
each
was
other as well?
Okay. I was nervous and now I'm not.
We did not talk much about teenagers' mental health in this episode, but I'm pretty confident.
Okay, that was it. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Episode 1 भने
Episode 1 is
Episode 1
2 हो 1 हो 1 हो त्यो 0 थियो 0 बाट कति गर्ने हिन्दी सुन्नु भाइ
today and I we and are you nervous?
Yeah, nervous. I can see the nervousness in my eyes, in my heart. I can see the nervousness in this whole room as it fills with silence. I can see the nervousness in you. I can see that you're pretty ready.